So it's about time that I got back to, making gameplay videos, content for YouTube, that sort of thing. And I wanted to kick things off with a deck that was played at the Masters series. So not taking credit for this at all. This is Karakondzhul's Catapult Warrior. It's a list that I really liked when I saw it in action at the Masters series. Been playing a little bit on the ladder with it. Decided, hey, let's record a couple games. Kind of show you guys how it works, and yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in. This is a mid-range list, but it's a little less traditional because it uses catapults. It can still be very aggressive, but it's not like the mid-grow warriors where you push damage. This is more like fight for the board, right? Like, you're gonna get these 5/5s. Yeah, they can go face, but you want to use the bodies, if possible, to go ahead and fight for control of the board. I think the Jarl goes back here. We're not going to need the 2 extra cards. Alright, so this is a good hand, but not great against Sorcerer.
We stand united.
The reason is there's almost zero chance that this thing goes uncontested in the field lane. Or you can just negate it, that works too. The rest of our hand, pretty quality curve. I was expecting, Wardcrafter, Harpy, Windkeep.
They will meet
in this case, Daggerfall here. All of this seems like pretty standard fare at the moment. Interesting, because I would really like to develop Ash Berserker, but if I do that this turn, it means no Sower next turn because of the ring. Ash Berserker could eat a Lightning Bolt as a result as well, whereas if I wait, I could potentially combo this up. Sorry, that notification completely threw me off. I think we're going to go ahead and go for it. Let's get the Ash Berserker down. Again, I don't think we're going to be running out of cards in this matchup. It's going to be like a mid-range brawl. Alright. Interesting. Well, I can't attack anyway. So Siege Catapult makes the most sense. I'd like to Steel Scimitar this as well to get it out of Lightning Bolt range. But then I'm just giving him insane silence value. We're going to do this either way. No way around that, because that's going to let us draw the card. I think we're just gonna let it go. I think giving him insane silence value isn't worth playing around the Lightning Bolt here. This was a good pickup. Gives us some flexibility this turn. So, like, we can Sower, but we can also choose to turn around and attack with our catapult, and that is something that I am a fan of.
I Arcase Beard. This state will be mine.
Coming in hot. Coming in hot. So I really like the Sower kind of sitting in our back pocket here. Yeah, we lose this to a value trade, but if he doesn't have any other shenanigans or tricks, that works out entirely fine. Alright, now Ice Storm, I will admit, not a card I was expecting to play around, not traditionally seen in Sorcerer. So bravo to you, sir. I mean, Ash Berserker is tempting here, but I want to, I think, saturate my magicka the best. So getting him to 11 means we don't break a rune.
Do you not fear me, mortal?
So we're
You should.
aggressive. Very good. With the scimitar in hand, we threaten lethal next turn.
I shall be your eyes and ears.
Conspirator. Frankie Hot Dogs bringing some spice. Makes me wonder if this is a item sorcerer. Given that we're seeing the maces and everything else now. Does indeed feel like that is the case. I think we just go ahead and try to take back field lane here. Draw some cards. But yeah, right now it's kind of looking like we are playing against an item sorcerer. We've seen the one Ice Storm, so Ice Storm could clear most of our board, right? With a trade here and an Ice Storm, it just leaves this. Ice Storm plus Firebolt or something would have been a full clear. But alright, good enough. It's a great place to start. And we're going to go ahead and dive right into another game in just a moment. I'm going to go hopefully turn off some notifications before the next game. Alright, so we are jumping right into game 2, and I hopefully have turned off notifications. However, there's a chance we might still hear a loud, annoying sound. I really want to keep that Ash Berserker, but I feel like 2 drops are kind of mandatory if we want to try to push this through, though the Withered Hand Cultist might just be spicy enough. Yeah, so I've got you. I've got Google Chrome open. I'm clearly recording for YouTube, but I'm also doing some uploading and things like that. And somebody posted a comment on one of my videos.
The stench of the living.
And that made things very angry. So, all right, back to what I was trying to articulate before I got completely thrown off on the rails here. This deck is a little less aggressive. Now, it can go aggressive with the catapults, but you want to use your big bodies to almost play this more like Sorcerer and less like the more traditional mid-grow warrior. Because you do benefit from the extra stats. Now, for the opener here, we started with this. We top deck the Scimitar. It's better to keep the 1 card. No whammies. Alright, there we go. Get that Bleak Coast down because we want to be able to trigger our Ash Berserker. Bit of a bummer. The Harpy means not only do they slow me down, but they can maybe take out this Withered Hand. Withered Hand is so good against control decks. With us playing against Tribunal,
May the ancestors bless us.
Alright. So they get back their moment of clarity. Alright, our turn here is not likely going to involve Shadowfen. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this down just to maximize our damage. Hope for no prophecies. And then we're just going to go ahead and develop a Berserker over here. Downside is an Ice Storm hurts, but at least this cycles itself. They could trade this into, excuse me, the Withered Hand and then be able to Ice Storm.
Remember this day.
That does, however, leave us with a Bleak Coast, which is not half bad. Not great, obviously, but not half bad. And I gotta think that's what they are considering. Now, if they have a Ice Storm and a Firebolt because of the cost reduction, they could full clear. Could preemptively Firebolt and then Ice Storm. You gotta do it in the right order because with Iron gone, you will not have the reduced cost. Does look like that's gonna be the case here. Sometimes you just don't want to be right. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and develop those two, get some bodies out. Doing it this way because if they play a guard, we have a silence, but also this allows us to potentially attack with the catapult next turn, assuming both creatures survive. There is a chance we just eat hard removal on one, if not both. Reeve is looking very tempting for somebody to hit with a javelin, for example. Oh, alright, so that's probably going to fetch a harpy, one would think. And so it does. That allows us to actually save the Shadowfen here, which is kind of nice. Earthbone ends up just being strictly better because it allows us to kill this.
The forest will not suffer your presence.
This stage will be mine.
Now, we could, again, play for the board and trade if we were worried about that, but at this point we're actually more scared of like a second Ice Storm. Also, because we have a second silence here, if he does do some sort of like shenanigans where he kills two creatures and this doesn't have enough creatures to attack on its own, you can silence this and then attack. Right, so with the execute and the trade here, there is a good chance that they're going to try to limit our ability to attack with the catapult.
You can tell them you thought of it.
Guard is pretty annoying, I'm not gonna lie. We're hoping it's not a cheat guard.
Time to take the offensive.
And it is. Actually, that's extra rough. Wow, okay. So we are looking for another cheap creature that we can pair with Priest at this point. I have to assume he's going to take the damage off there. So with the ring, that should be good enough. We are going to see if we hit any Prophecy Trouble first, though. So this is going to attack here, and Reeve is going to get some damage in. Earthbone is going to come down, get rid of this. This is going to come down. I mean, we can also silence this so that it could attack in the future, but either way, we found what we needed. We get a victory. That's this deck. It's pretty good. There's a reason Karakondzhul took it to the Masters Series, so I like it. Thumbs up from me.